The Spurs will be soon revealing The Rock, but what's it like inside? Any pros, any cons? We're going to find out right here on Locked On Spurs.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, this is Chris Sabat, and you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs, right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs beat writer for KENS 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you back. We are available everywhere. iTunes, YouTube, KENS 5 Plus app. The list goes on and on. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hey, what are we talking about today? The Rock. No, not the rest. I'd love to talk about WWE and all that stuff, but we're not talking about that Rock. We're talking about the Rock at La Cantera, the Spurs' new practice facility. It was open to media a few days ago, and we're going to have my colleague, Casey Viera, join on this episode in just a few seconds to talk about what he saw, what he liked, what didn't he like. Did it overwhelm him? Did it underwhelm him? Was it too soon to show it off? We'll find out in just a few seconds, and then we'll catch you up with some Spurs news and notes that you might have missed, like Wemby. Shocker. We're going to be talking about Wemby in a few minutes. But all in all, hey, speaking of The Rock and new things, it's a new chapter in Spurs history. Does it feel like you're opening up Christmas presents, on Christmas Eve or day? That's what it feels like for me. It feels like every day it's something new with this Spurs team, and it's part of their transition away from the Big Three era into the new, the Wemby era. And you're seeing radical changes, a little bit more fan interactive. I doubt they would have allowed Tim Duncan to go to a bar and sit with fans or go eat tacos at a local San Antonio spot. But yet, here's their potential all-world franchise player doing exactly that, going to San Antonio sports bars, visiting his murals, hanging out with fans, sitting with them at a bar. Yes, it is so different. I've never seen the Spurs this open with their players, with the public, in quite some time. It's not just Wemby, being so interactive and out and about. It's other players. I mean, Jeremy Sohan, years ago, I'm pretty sure the Spurs would have told Sohan, you know what? Stop chatting with fans on social media. But yet, he's doing that every day, interacting with them, talking with them, asking them questions. It just feels like a breath of fresh air being injected into this franchise, and everything is new. The Rock, we're going to talk about that. That is brand new. Obviously it wasn't ready at the time, but when it is complete, I'm pretty sure that's going to be awesome and a must go-to spot for all Spurs games, including the Spurs Club, if you're lucky enough to get an invite to get into that. But, a new name for the Spurs arena is now the Frost Bank Center. That's what it is now. The potentially new franchise player, Wemby. A new step in the right direction. Now, they're out of the woods yet. This team is still figuring things out. And just like off the court, they're still trying to figure out how they're going to wrap up the Rock. They're still going to figure out, hey, how much are we going to let Wemby and the two players be interactive with the fans during the season and then some. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm loving this new chapter of the Spurs history. I like it. I think it's the right direction to go. It is a sign of the times. It is a different era. Tim Duncan era, social media wasn't there quite yet. Started coming on towards the end of that decade. So we'll give them a pass for there. But nevertheless, I'm enjoying this ride, and it's only beginning. It's just beginning. So buckle up, everybody. It's going to be quite the fun ride. Hey, but speaking of new things, we're going to be talking about The Rock right now. It's going to bring in our guest. He is Casey Viera of KENS 5 San Antonio, my colleague there. Hey, Casey, what's going on, buddy?
What is up? How are you, sir?
I am doing good. Can you, like I said right now, imagine if they had allowed Tim Duncan to go out and about like Wemby. I don't think that would have happened.
Even if they allowed it. Hey, you know what? For all we know, they did allow it, and he was like, absolutely not.
But it's just, just talk about new things. We'll talk about The Rock in a few seconds. But even if they allowed Tim Duncan to do that and he said no, and that was their cornerstone player, Wemby's all like, hey, you want to do that? And Wemby's like, hell yeah, let's go out there.
Yeah. That's actually why Tim Duncan didn't go to the Magic back in the early 2000s, because he said, I want to stay, but I don't want to have to talk to anyone ever. They're like,
he would have to go.
Check, buddy.
he would have to go on and interact with the Mickey and Minnie Mouse over there at Disney World, and stuff like this. Like, nah, pass.
That was the difference. He's like, mission accomplished in San Antonio. I want to be playing in a Floridian spotlight. The weather's great here. You know what? This is all I want. They're saying, well, you got to do plugs with Mickey once a week.
Yeah. Stay on that. Yeah, no, we're gonna do that. Again, follow Casey on Twitter at Casey_Viera. He's my colleague at Ken's 5 San Antonio, the weekend sports anchor. Got you all covered from the Spurs, the Cowboys, and everything going on in San Antonio sports. He'll talk about that later on in this episode of Locked On Spurs. But Casey got a chance to visit the Rock at La Cantera. Now, if you're living under a rock, that's a new Spurs practice facility. It's not just for the San Antonio Spurs; it's for the community. There'll be parks. Apparently there's going to be a seating lawn area to watch Spurs games. The Spurs Club, if you're lucky enough to get in, whatnot. But the Rock, it looks like it's coming together, Casey. But let's go to start off this chat here. You were there. Mm-hmm. Let's get your overall impression so far.
Overall, grade incomplete, because I think a lot of what everyone saw on social media was what the Spurs were kind of labeling as not a grandiose come check out everything we've done type of deal. It was more so, hey, media, hey, locals, this is where we're at right now. This is where the players are going to be spending their time. This is where you're going to go when you want to talk to whoever at practice every single day. Follow this way. And from what we saw, it was really cool. There was unexpectedly so the actual court itself is spectacular, and everything around it spectacular looking. It reminded me a lot, and I know you've been around it, kind of like a brighter. Well, no, the Brooklyn Nets facility. The Brooklyn Nets facility over there in Barclays, how it's in the building and it's all very bright. It kind of gave me a little bit of an element of that, and that was probably the one big takeaway was how bright the lighting in there is. Really cool, but collectively, from what we were able to see, it wasn't anything that I didn't expect to see, if that makes any sense. They showed us a really cool court. Okay. They showed us the pools, the recovery pools, things like that, the gym, all things you expected to see. Little odds and ends things here and there that were like a nice touch so far, but there wasn't anything about it right now from what they showed that really kind of blew me away. I don't say that in a negative sense, but it was kind of everything that they were willing to reveal that we needed to know, and the functionality standpoint. Because if you take a drive off, you're heading towards La Cantera over there, you'll see it off in the distance and the signage, Victory Capital, all that stuff. But once you turn in there into the La Cantera, I guess complex, what are we collectively calling La Cantera? I don't know. You'll see as soon as you turn there, there's plentiful construction still going on. Yeah. I mean, I don't have an estimate, but if you want to kind of put a number on it, I would say only 25% of that whole operation is complete. Jeez. But that's but I'm not the, I'm not the guy responsible for this. Is purely aesthetics, but that 25% is the 25% they need to be complete to take care of the team and to make sure the team has everything going for them. And when they do get everything going, which is still a ways away, and I think they're looking at the first quarter of 2024, first half of 24, it's going to be really cool. You see the foundation. They talked about, you mentioned the lawn area out there, things like that. They see a world where they want to try to they made mention to the fact they want to try to have events there that could host up to 5,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, that's a pretty cool thing to have, but largely kind of over encompassing thought. It was very much incomplete, very much incomplete. But from what we did see, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the pictures where you're talking right now, and it does look very, look over here for now, kind of vibe. Yes. Just look at this.
Yes, that's a perfect way to
ignore what you see in the distance, and the cranes and the mounds of dirt piled up. That's what a vibe. That was the vibe I got. I was looking at one picture right now. The court itself, it looks very high tech.
Yeah.
I've seen a picture right now of a of the backboard, and like pretty much like a spider web of cameras popping out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me the Spurs are definitely implementing a lot of the basketball analytics / video technology. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Which
time. So they talked about that a lot. They talked
which kind of makes me laugh, because here's Popovich, who's like,
I know,
he makes a big thing about like when he started in his day, it was just him and a couple assistants. He goes, now you have assistants for everything. Yeah. And here it is now with the technology. But hey, we're not done talking about The Rock. When we get back, we're going to ask Casey what didn't he like from the completed stuff that he was allowed to see, and also some of the fun things that perhaps he caught during his tour of The Rock, right here on Locked On Spurs. But before we continue our chat with Casey Viera, I want to talk to you about DoorDash grocery delivery. Yes, for years you've probably been used to them delivering off your favorite foods from your restaurant, but now how about your favorite food from your local grocery store? Hey, support the local community. Get your groceries as if you were there, picking them yourselves with DoorDash grocery delivery. So if you're missing that syrup for your pancakes, you ran out of your favorite coffee creamer, with DoorDash grocery delivery, you can get what you want, when you want, right when you want, and at your door. So if you love the convenience of getting what you want right to your door, go with DoorDash grocery delivery. You can stock up for the week, order last-minute cravings conveniently, and you need the fresh groceries for the entire week. Go to DoorDash grocery delivery right now and right to your door. So if you trusted DoorDash to deliver your restaurant's favorites, trust them again with your grocery items. You'll get exactly what you ordered, or they'll make it right. So sit back and enjoy those quality groceries just like you picked them themselves, as I mentioned. With easy substitutions right on the app, it's the best in-class customer support out there. DoorDash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to a $20 value when you use code LOCKEDONNBA at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply. That's 50% off up to $20, no minimal subtotal, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code LOCKEDONNBA. Don't forget, that's code LOCKEDONNBA for 50% off your first order at DoorDash. And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs with that guy, Casey Viera. He is my colleague at Ken's 5 San Antonio, and we are talking about The Rock. Not the wrestler, Casey, because I know you can take him one-on-one in the ring because you got the size and the height and the reach, everything. Yeah. So the Rock actor is no issue for Casey.
I think Dwayne would be one of the very few people, if I met him,
very few.
Yeah, I would be one of the very few people I'd be starstruck to meet.
That's a good thing. Yeah. I got starstruck when I met Dana White from the UFC.
Oh, really?
I did. I covered a UFC fight in Madison Square Garden, and I was fine with the fighters. I was okay with them. But for some reason, when Dana White came out, I was like, oh my God, that's Dana White. That was kind of like my reaction.
Yeah.
I got starstruck with Manu, and I got starstruck with Alicia Keys at the Houston All-Star game in the early 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah, because I literally ran into her because there was kind of a log jam.
Yeah.
In the internal tunnels of the arena, and I took a wrong turn, and right when I took that turn, she happened to be coming out of a room, and I kind of bumped into her, and she was like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me." She had like a baby with her, but I was like, "Oh my God, that's Alicia Keys."
Sorry.
Yeah. And then she even asked me a question. She was like, "Oh, what's going on out there?" Because it was like somebody important was walking the hallways, and he was getting swarmed. Yeah. And I was like, so, and then that was it. And she just walked on past. Yeah.
Nice.
But the Dana White thing, I don't know why. That one caught me off guard. I wasn't ready. Yeah.
That one's I think for me there'd be very few. Mm-hmm. Very few. I think The Rock would be one.
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z would probably be another. Jay-Z would be one. I wouldn't know what to say to Jay-Z.
Yeah. Yeah. And with The Rock, I think I would just get more stunned at his size, just the physical imposing presence of him. I never met him.
Well, he was here. He was here a couple times this year with the XFL stuff.
Yeah, the Brahmas.
Yeah, and I was in studio and I couldn't make it over, but I know our colleague Vinny. He said that he saw him and he was like, "Holy!"
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I might be going through that very, very soon. I don't know. I'm hosting the Big Texas Comic Con in San Antonio,
Right.
and I got the Mandalorian panel. So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be like, it's Mando, it's Mando, it's him. Yeah. Hey, but let's continue our chat about the Rock at La Cantera. Casey got a chance to get a sneak peek, and he said it was not there yet, Casey, but were your expectations met from what you saw? Because before we hit record, you were kind of like, it was just there. Can you explain that? Are you going to give them a pass because it's not 100% there? What didn't you like about it?
Yeah, I'll give it a pass because they pretty much told us that it was an orientation, not a reveal. Okay. So how do you when they reveal it as that, or they tell you what it is, this is like, hey, come and see where we are. How do you give kind of a be critical of something they're saying? Yeah, we know that this is not what it's supposed to look like. When this is done, this is going to save the world over here, But in the meantime, see where Keldon Johnson stretches before he practices. But they pretty much told us where we're at. It was kind of a formality, or like they said, orientation type of deal. From a selfish standpoint, beyond that, you're like, you get there and you're not underwhelmed, but you're hearing all these grandiose things, and then you get there, you're like, all right, this is cool, but I want to see this other stuff, but this other stuff's not ready. So, here you go. Take it in like it. Like we were saying before, I mean, for all we know, they have plenty more that they didn't show us, which is probably true. Before we said that, so for all we know, Pop has the nuclear codes in his office. They're not going to show us that. So there might still be, I'm sure there's plenty more that's already been well documented and things like that. But I mean, it kind of was what it was. It was cool for what it is. I can understand why players will be happy to be there. The parking in the meantime sucks. But I'm sure but like, what do you expect? It's a big construction zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, again, I'm looking over pictures right now, and I can see that they're having fun with the coffee gang thing.
They have an espresso machine there.
Yeah. What was that about?
Talking about that at length. They were very happy to talk about that. They were saying that that they take an espresso machine on the road with them, which I did not know. Wherever they go, whatever city, they always take their fancy espresso machine. They made it sound like Paramount. They're like, we'll leave Malachi Branham here, but as long as we have the espresso machine, good to go.
Wemby, who's Wemby? Let's bring the espresso machine.
Wemby, but hey, we got the good stuff to get us going in the morning. They were very enthused about that, which I can respect. This would be the perfect segue, by the way, into your Mudslingers promo.
Oh yeah. You see what I'm doing here?
I'm lobbing this up on a tee for you, but yeah, that was actually. I think a lot of people got a laugh out of that. That was cool, and the cafeteria. They have a whole cafeteria layout. But I was like, this isn't going to be media food. Come on, man. Don't tempt us with this. I appreciate that.
Don't do that. Yeah,
fella's going to be well fed, but come on now.
Yeah. Whatever's left over, they'll give to the media. They'll be there. Here's your halftime popcorn. Remember that? Yeah. Here's the halftime popcorn. Yeah. But no, again, you're right, Casey. This they do deserve a pass. He said they said the keyword orientation, not reveal, all this stuff. But the little that we saw, it seems to be heading in the right direction. You see a lot of artist renderings. The lawn that we talked about in the first segment. It looks very spacious. Again, the Spurs will be using it, but the idea is supposed to be a community spot. I'm assuming other kind of stuff like shopping spots. I mean, is that what they're envisioning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things I wished I asked, and I kind of left, and it kind of passed me by. I was wondering if they might not do it because they put a big emphasis on soft heeled shoes on the court, because what I was going to say is there's a lot of space in there. And I wonder if for as actively that they were going to open it up to the community as they made it sound, if they would ever have high school games there, kind of like the way, at the Star in Frisco, where the Cowboys have where the Cowboys play state championship games there.
Yeah.
And it's laid out a little bit differently because one side of the field, they have all
Mhm.
stands. So, well, actually, both sides, they have all stands. And I think altogether it could fit like 15, maybe even more, 15,000 people. So it's designed a little different. But for as much as they kind of talked about community engagement, we want to bring some to the community here. I wonder if there's ever a world where they put in some semblance without messing up the floor or anything like that. I'm sure that's kind of going to be the deal breaker there.
Yeah.
Where they close, because it's certainly big enough. That's for sure.
Yeah. I didn't, I haven't gone out there yet. I'm pretty sure I'll be going out there soon. But it's for those of y'all who are not familiar with San Antonio, the AT&T Center and the Rock are nowhere near each other. I mean, it's like worlds apart.
Could not be further apart.
They are just on opposite ends of the city or the county. You're talking about from the east side of San Antonio all the way the northwest,
northeast, depending on who you're talking to, northwest side. Yeah, northwest vibes. Winds blowing that day.
Yeah, it's a haul. It's a drive out there.
Yeah,
and so we'll see. How the arena talk is kind of starting to brew a little bit. How's that gonna affect it and whatnot. But you know what? Let's take a break. When we get back, let's wrap up this chat, catch up the Spurs fans and some news and notes right here on Locked On Spurs with colleague of mine, good old buddy at Ken's 5. He is Casey Viera. But Casey, you served it up in a tea for me. You put the peg there and you put the little golf ball on there for me. And what better way to segue is about coffee than Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee, local proud sponsor of Locked On Spurs and the first, by the way, serving the community for quite some time. Great menu, dairy alternatives, the Red Bull infused lightning bolt series, the Alien in honor of Victor Wembanyama. If you can handle a full can of Red Bull with kiwi and green apple, then that is a drink for you. They also have, I'm waiting for this to happen. They have the Mudslinger. Okay, which is their signature drink.
Right.
But I'm waiting for the Casey Viera. Because Casey gets the same thing over and over.
I made the pitch. I haven't gotten a call back yet from Thomas.
But that's the good thing about them. If you make them a pitch, more than likely they'll approve it because there's another drink on the menu.
I made them a customer the other day.
Oh, well, see,
our dear friend Alicia Nyaves.
Yeah.
She went there for the first time.
Oh, look at that! Look at that. More and more people are going to Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee right there. First-hand testimony. Look, 305
every time I'm on the program, man.
Yeah. By the way, Mudslingers, I know you listen to every spot here. Make sure you just have Casey's drink ready. Just call it already the Casey, which is just the same. Which is what is it? What do you get there again?
Oh, just cold brew and oat milk.
See, there it is.
What more do you want?
Yeah, give me the Casey, and then they just put like the emoji face on the cup like this.
Yeah, it's like some grandiose reveal. They're like, Casey, okay, and so it's just like, here. That's it.
That's it. Moving on. Next customer.
His deadpan personality.
Yeah, exactly. They got the OJ, which is the old Orange Julius recreated at Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee. So they have it all there for you. Even got a new drink called the Sub-Zero, which is a hat tip to UTSA's very own Frank Harris. Every week, every day, they're introducing new concoctions, new flavors, new fun things. Heard from the grapevine that there might be one called the Money Bag, and I'm not happy about that one because I know what they're doing with it. I know exactly where they're going with it. Yeah,
it's gonna be
served. It's gonna be served in a goblet, like a jeweled goblet.
This is not Mudslingers. This is just water. But is they gonna give you the cup in there? Who is it? Jimenez, who made the Photoshop picture of you?
Yeah.
With the Monopoly thing that's going to be on every cup, just right there.
Exactly. So maybe it'll be coming out soon. But so keep your eyes open. You can do that by following them everywhere pick a platform from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook to X. Got to used to saying that X everywhere. They are just everywhere. Everybody's going to Mudslingers. You should too. 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive. That's 21604 area. Open every single day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Once again, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive here in San Antonio. Go there right now. Life is too short for bland coffee. All right, let's wrap up this chat with Casey Viera Follow him on Twitter at Casey_Viera. We're talking about The Rock at Lock on Terra and much, much more. So quickly before we get off this topic here, I know months and months ago, one of the Spurs reps spoke with the Sports Business Journal about The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when The Rock was in his infancy. And the idea was that this should be another, notch on their belt to attract big name free agents. Like, look at the state of the art facility we have.
Right.
I mean, it couldn't hurt. Sure,
Yeah.
throw it in your pitch.
Yeah.
But it seems to be that they're going to use that. They might use Wemby. They're going to use a bunch of other stuff to try to lure these things. But based on what you saw, do you think it would be eye-opening for potential free agents?
I mean, if I'm a free agent, I'm using Victor Wembanyama much more as a recruiting point.
Then where do I go to work?
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, I've only seen probably an eighth of all the practice facilities in the NBA.
Yeah,
but it certainly looked like an NBA caliber practice facility.
Okay.
It's nicer. Not that one Spurs lane was, bad, but one Spurs lane is also 20 years old, tucked off Evener Road somewhere.
Hey, wait till media day when that little place gets packed with so many people.
Man, there's a very backwards kind of sense. Well, maybe not backwards. I don't know. The fact that they're going to crowd that place just one more time with media day with like the worst parking in the world. As you can see by now, I put a lot of my life logistics into parking. The situational parking. It's just, all my plans on Friday night are based off whether or not I can park wherever I go. If I can park, cool. If I can't, screw it. Yeah.
I might Uber to media day.
I think I might too, because I don't live too far away. I think I might as well. Last year I did. Last year I did. Yeah.
It's gonna be a pain. But The Rock it definitely looks like it. Like we said, it's heading in the right direction. A lot of bells and whistles. From the pools to the coffee spot to the gym to the tech. It looks like they're going to have it all for the players as they open up this new chapter in Spurs history. The Wemby era is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. And we'll start that off. Well, they'll start that off soon, and we'll have you covered here at Ken's 5 as well as on Locked On Spurs. We're all going to team up and give you the best coverage this upcoming season. But, hey, before I let Casey go, you got to talk about Wemby. He is touring San Antonio. His latest stop, the Alamo. He did not find Pee-wee's bike in the basement, but nevertheless.
You think anyone told him that? You think anyone pulled that on him?
I don't know. I don't know.
That'd be really
but you know
what?
The Alamo did reveal they do have a basement-ish. It's not on the Alamo side, but it's in that complex.
It's a storage closet.
Yeah, it's like basically.
Yeah.
But so he's touring San Antonio. He recently visited the Alamo from visiting his murals, hanging out with fans at a bar in a controlled environment. I'm pretty sure.
I was going to say terrible bar management, letting a minor sit at the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then letting a minor go behind the bar.
And go behind the bar.
Yeah.
They should have their liquor license revoked.
They're not. If you look carefully, Casey and I, I'm pretty sure to the untrained eye, it just looks like Wemby on his own mingling in San Antonio. No, for the trained eye, you can see handlers everywhere in there. Yeah,
that was at the Rue, wasn't it? Wasn't that the Rue?
Yeah. The Rue is where they had a bunch of them. You can see them kind of like hovering.
I like the guys. I like the guys at the Rue. They're nice.
Yeah,
they're nice.
I'll give them.
Yeah. Any other bar, I'd be right in the city. I'd be saying, shut them down. Is this the type of representation you want? A bar letting minors sit at the bar?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
So I won't do that.
Yeah. So, again, Wemby is getting to know the city, and that's good to see him being out there active because those are the people, the fans that make the thing go, paying customers, and they will be cheering him on this entire season. And other Spurs news, the Austin Spurs, and I'm bringing this up, Casey, because this is hilarious. They revealed their promotional schedule. And let me tell you, some of these theme nights are just hilarious. For example, last year, I'm not kidding you. They had car freshener night. I'm not kidding. Everybody who showed up got a car freshener.
I'm going to say, what's it smell
and I don't know why.
Does it smell like maybe say like at 1 a.m.?
Yeah. And for some reason, I was like, I want to go to that. I want to get a car freshener.
Yeah.
So they're keeping with that funny, quirky spirit. they're going to be doing a slew of fun events. One of the funniest ones is going to, well, not fun, more like, I think in my opinion, nerdy cool, is they're going to have Monstars Night. So for those y'all remember the Michael Jordan Space Jam back in the 90s, the players are going to be wearing the Monstars jerseys. So I think that is going to be a fun event to go to. Yeah. They're also going to be.
It's a good thing Lonnie Walker's not here anymore, because there would be so many jokes that would write themselves.
Oh no! Yeah, good idea.
Oh, many jokes I would have written. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. Also, they're going to be having obviously
now, right? He's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's in Brooklyn. Yeah, he's a Brooklyn net. Yeah. They're also going to have other theme nights, such as the Keep Austin Weird night. So for those of you who don't know, the Austin Spurs do have an an alternative name. They're called the Raros. Now, Raros in Spanish means weird. So they're going to have 3 nights throughout the season, excuse me. They're going to be wearing their Raros jerseys, and they're going to be called the Austin Weirdos. So there you go. Keep Austin weird. They're keeping in that. So it's going to be a fun times in Austin. A lot of quirky, fun things. I actually pitched something to them, and I thought they were going to do it because I had the new Austin Spurs head coach come on Locked On Spurs a few months ago.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, a rep was on the call with us, and we were talking about the promotional schedule. We're getting the kick out of it. And then I said, no, y'all should have new coach night and just have cutouts of his face. Like, that's it. That's all you should do. Just have the new coach night, Will Voigt, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, the Austin rep was like, that actually could work. That actually could work. That could work. Yeah. Unfortunately, darn it, they didn't do it. So I looked at their schedule.
Will Voigt promptly backed out of the gig.
No, he was about it. He started laughing.
Yeah.
We joked that it was like all of us on the call were having that Seinfeld moment where Costanza pitches an idea of nothing. Like, we're going to have a show about nothing. And then Jerry's like, that could work.
That could work.
That's what it felt like. We're like, that could actually work. But yeah, so the Austin Spurs are going to be having a fun season right around the corner for them too. So if you have the opportunity to go out to Cedar Park, Texas, do it right now. Hey, we're done talking. We want to hear from you. Are you excited about the Rock at La Cantera opening up? Will you be going to there to visit it, not just as a Spurs fan, but to use it and see what it's all about? Also, what do you think about Wemby touring San Antonio? You can let us know, at least Casey know on Twitter at Casey_Viera. He is the weekend sports anchor for KENS 5 TV. What's cooking on your department?
What is cooking? We got media day Monday. I'm going to see you on Monday, right?
Yep, I'll see you Monday.
See you Monday, and then maybe
if I can find you in the vast ocean of people that are going to be there.
Oh my God,
it's going to be crazy. I'm not looking forward to it.
You know, I'm looking forward to it only because I haven't seen you in person since.
Oh, look at that.
That's it. If you weren't there, if you weren't going, I wouldn't be going.
That's a total Casey move. You don't know, Casey tries to avoid big crowds. Like anything large and humongous, he's like, nah, you can have
it. Which there's a real sense of irony given my profession.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Casey's like, nah, I'm good. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
he always says that. Hey, Casey, there's X event and hundreds of people are gonna go, and he'll be at work. Nah, some of the guys can go. No, they're
good.
Yeah, he's good.
That and parking.
Yeah,
depending on the parking is almost like the non-negotiable one. It's like that's more so the non-negotiable. The people, it depends on the event.
Yeah.
No, it depends on the event, who's going, the type of people. You know, I obviously won't say who in the world.
Yeah, bad idea.
Some people's going, and I don't want to talk to them. Why? Why am I going to subject myself to that? I'm not going to be disingenuous. Hey, how good to see you. I don't want to see you for a while. I like most people, but you know, I'm not going to do that. Is it my vibe? I'll go. If it's not my vibe, I'll stay home and complain.
Yeah, exactly. Or sit back, relax, go suckers. Look at y'all gonna deal with while like you're just chilling out, hanging out, and relaxing and enjoying all that water you drink. You drink a lot of water, dude. By the way, I noticed that you drink a lot of water. Hydrate like crazy. Again, follow him on Twitter at Casey_Viera, and make sure to subscribe to Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcast, YouTube. iTunes. I mean, there's such a big list of platforms where they have us. You cannot go wrong, from Spotify to mention iTunes to the YouTube page, Ken's 5 Plus app. I mean, it is everywhere. So no excuse for you to not check out Locked On Spurs. We'll be back next week to wrap up Media Day and look ahead at, I can't believe I'm saying this, Casey, at training camp. Wow. It's here.
Tuesday.
Oh.
Camp starts Tuesday.
Exactly. So for Casey Viera, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.